Mutagenesis norovirus is responsive to Favipiravir treatment. Definition: Favipiravir antivirus that have been approved for the treatment of infants in infants, and the some have used and treatment for every virus infection, which means a result which should Favipiravir to the chronic norovirus infection.
Japan said Monday it is ready to provide a Japanese-developed anti-influenza drug as a possible treatment for the rapidly expanding Ebola outbreak. Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga told reporters that Japan can offer Favipiravir, developed by a subsidiary of Fujifilm Holdings Corporation, at any time at the request of the World Health Organization. The drug, with the brand name Avigan, was developed by Fujifilm subsidiary Toyama Chemical Company to treat new and re-emerging influenza viruses and has not been proven to be effective against them.
Application is nursing. Education expansion should prevent norovirus. 1. Practice and proper hand washing. 2. Wash and prepare for extraction. 3. Avoid contact with street people. 4. Pulling and infection is hard. 5. Wash your clothes well. 6. Use protective measures.
Norovirus is a highly infectious virus that infects around 2 million Australians each year. It's a virus that causes gastroenteritis, which includes vomiting and diarrhea, feeling quite tired, nausea, sometimes with chills and sometimes with flu. The impact of the virus is that it affects many people. It's highly infectious. It's one of the most infectious viruses we know, which means it leads to large outbreaks in places like people's homes, hospitals, cruise ships, childcare centres. This leads to hundreds, thousands of lost days of work for people who are sick and then pass the virus on to other members of their family. The virus is very difficult to control because it's highly infectious. No vaccine, no treatment against this virus. So the best thing we can do is try and prevent transmission. That means when you're sick, you should try not to pass the virus on to family members. You shouldn't visit anybody in the hospital, and you shouldn't go on that cruise trip. Norovirus evolves to create new strains that cause pandemics. We've seen this happen about half a dozen times in the last 2 decades.
Pros and cons. Pros. The passion your and the use of action offers measures of which increase and the viral load of novel virus decreases patient infection in viewers. Cons. The patient has virus after shock absorbing situation with foul virus threaten have mixed reason ever landed to solve disease immunosuppressed patient.
Transmission of norovirus. Norovirus illness has been called by several names, including the stomach flu and the contaminating disease. Noroviruses are important pathogens around the world. They are believed to be responsible for a large proportion of all gastroenteritis outbreaks worldwide. Approximately 21 million cases are estimated to occur each year in the United States. They are also the most common cause of foodborne illness in the United States. As much as half of all food-related outbreaks in the U.S. are believed to be caused by noroviruses. The virus needs to be taken in through the mouth to infect the person. It incubates in the gastrointestinal tract for 12 to 48 hours and most likely multiplies in the small intestine, causing tissue damage, which leads to the symptoms. The most common symptoms of norovirus infection are vomiting and diarrhea. Other symptoms include abdominal pain, nausea, fever, and headache. The illness usually resolves on its own without any long-term effects. Sometimes people with certain underlying medical conditions can have more serious disease. The elderly are particularly susceptible. People acquire the virus through direct contact with people who are sick, as well as coming into contact with surfaces, foods, or water contaminated with the virus. The virus is shed in the millions to billions in stool and vomit, and the virus particles can also be aerosolized over several feet when a person vomits. It may take only 20 virus particles to make someone sick. Though shedding is highest during a person's symptoms, and just after symptoms resolve, people have been known to shed the virus for weeks after they feel better, potentially exposing others. It is important to note that not everyone is susceptible to any one strain of norovirus. A subset of the world's population has a genetic makeup that prevents particular strains of the virus from being able to infect. It is suspected that not everyone who is infected with the virus shows symptoms. These viruses also have a high mutation rate, and new strains emerge every few years. Coupled with the fact that norovirus infection does not create long-term immunity in most people, a person can be infected multiple times over the course of their life. Additionally, the viruses can persist on surfaces and in food and water, and are not completely inactivated by most common disinfectants, sanitizers, and food processing and preservation methods. This complicates efforts to prevent and control the spread of the virus. People who study outbreaks, also called epidemiologists, look at the distribution of cases as they develop over time. This helps to determine the original source of infection. For example, in this figure, a single vomiting incident followed by a contamination of the surface triggered a cascade of disease. In short, because the virus is shed in large amounts in vomit and feces, is persistent, and is resistant, it's clear how a norovirus outbreak can result from one ill individual or contamination event.
Use Ecuador. In Ecuador, for relapse, infection comes for the most part is transmission. Transmission is overheard, racial or fever with index usually have fewer viewers lower. Conclusion: immunocompromised patient develops a presence of complex condition. The patient in the case has got symptomatic response to Favipiravir treatment. For a student of Favipiravir for chronic norovirus infection to be considered.
So we talked about rotavirus, which causes very severe diarrhea and even kills kids in countries where they don't get vaccinated. And now we're going to talk about norovirus, which does not cause as severe diarrhea and does not kill much, but it infects a lot more people. And actually it infects people of all ages, unlike rotavirus, which tends to affect kids. So if you're getting exhausted at this point and you're thinking to yourself, do I really need to know this? The answer is absolutely, because this is the #1 cause of gastroenteritis in the US. And that includes all causes, viruses, bacteria, parasites, you name it. And by the way, norovirus is a Callice virus, and that's a name you might hear. So let's talk about how it presents. So first of all, people love to talk about where norovirus presents. So they always talk about cruise ships as a common site. There have been some publicized outbreaks at Chipotle's, not as publicized outbreaks in military, schools, nursing homes. And the bottom line really is that norovirus is absolutely everywhere. It's good to know about cruise ships for exam purposes, but in the real world it's everywhere. Bathrooms, doorknobs, you name it. So what happens with infection? So there is a 1 to 2 day incubation period. So after 1 to 2 days, you start having vomiting and diarrhea. Remember, it's a 2-bucket disease. Now, children tend to have worse diarrhea, and adults tend to have worse vomiting. One of the nicknames is actually winter vomiting disease. The key thing to remember is the diarrhea is less severe than with rotavirus. It causes less dehydration. It doesn't last as long, and so it kills food. Now, you can also get systemic symptoms like fever, myalgia, malaise, aches. And on the flip side, norovirus can be totally asymptomatic. In that case, you get infected, the virus replicates in your GI tract, and gets shed in your stool, and you potentially transmit it to someone else, all without you ever. Actually, whether you have symptoms or not, you can actually shed the virus for weeks after infection, and once you shed it, the virus can survive for quite a while in the environment. So you're starting to get a sense for why this virus is everywhere. So most people will stay at home, recover on their own, but what if someone comes to the doctor and they have what appears to be viral gastroenteritis? How do you know whether it's norovirus or something else? So actually it would be pretty much impossible to tell unless there were a known outbreak. But one thing we do have is a PCR panel that looks for DNA or RNA of all different causes of gastroenteritis. And this is an example of a PCR panel, and as you can see, it looks for viruses, bacteria, parasites. But usually this would be a total waste of money. So unless you have a patient who's immunocompromised or hospitalized, don't bother. Because people will get better on their own, there's no treatment other than hydration. So let's ask the big question. Why does norovirus affect so many people? Two reasons. One, we kind of touched on, it's very infectious. But two, after you're infected, you only get a very brief immunity. So you can get reinfected. And actually you can get norovirus every couple months if you want. Now, as you can imagine, this is bad news for vaccines because the virus itself can't make you immune. Then what are you going to put in a vaccine that will make you immune? So, not surprisingly, there's no vaccine for norovirus, and so get those two buckets ready.